One sentence, endless thoughts. Episode 4, الحكي. Good morning, good evening, beautiful people. There are songs you enjoy, and then there are songs that suddenly stop you because you realize this is exactly what I have been trying to say. That happened to me again with الحكي, a song by Fairuz. I knew the song before. I used to have a huge library of Fairuz songs collected over many years. A lot of that music was lost when my files and hard drives were damaged. So when I came across this song again, I did not just hear something familiar. I heard an idea I have been talking about again and again in my own way. Human beings spend so much time trying to control how other people see them. We prepare answers, we hide weaknesses, we exaggerate strengths. We avoid saying certain things because we are afraid of judgment. Sometimes we even behave according to what we think people expect from us rather than according to who we actually are. And after a while, the image becomes more important than the person. That is why this song touched me. The idea running through it is very simple. Keep talking. Because the longer someone talks honestly, the harder it becomes to maintain a perfect image. Eventually, the polished version begins to disappear. The rehearsed answers become exhausted. The little contradictions come out. The strange details come out. The worries come out. The mistakes come out. The person comes out. And that is where something I find very important happens. They become human, not perfect, human. I think we sometimes confuse accepting people with believing they have no faults. That has never made sense to me. I do not expect people in my life to be perfect. Not friends, not family, not someone I love, not anyone. I expect them to be real. There is a huge difference. I can understand a mistake. I can understand weakness. I can understand fear. I can understand someone making a bad decision. I can understand that people have contradictions inside them. Sometimes someone can be incredibly kind and still do something selfish. Someone can be strong and still be terrified. Someone can love you and still have things inside themselves they have not learned how to deal with. Human beings are complicated. That part does not frighten me. Dishonesty does. Because once someone begins hiding reality, I am no longer dealing with the real person. I am dealing with the version they decided to show me. And how can anyone build a real relationship with that? This is not only about romantic relationships, it applies to almost every meaningful relationship we have. Friendships, families, work, people we trust, people we allow close to us. You do not have to tell me that everything is fine when it is not. You do not have to pretend you are strong when you are struggling. You do not have to create a personality you think I will like. You do not even have to agree with me. Just let me know who I am actually talking to. That is why one of the strongest ideas in this song, for me, is not simply that someone is talking, it is that another person is willing to listen long enough for the real person to appear. That is much harder than it sounds. People often say they want honesty, but sometimes what they really mean is, tell me the truth as long as the truth is comfortable for me. Real honesty does not work that way. Sometimes you hear things you did not expect. Sometimes you discover weaknesses, sometimes you discover mistakes, sometimes you discover that the person in front of you is much more complicated than the simple picture you created of them, and then you have a choice. You can judge the entire human being through one uncomfortable detail, or you can try to understand the whole person. Understanding does not mean accepting everything. It does not mean removing responsibility. It does not mean allowing someone to hurt you, but it means recognizing something very basic. A human being is more than one moment. This is something I keep trying to talk about in my videos. We are becoming very good at reducing people. One mistake, one opinion, one photograph, one sentence, one rumor, one part of someone's history, and suddenly we believe we understand the entire person. We don't. Most of us do not even completely understand ourselves. So how easily can we possibly understand somebody else? That is why conversation matters. Real conversation. Not interrogation, not gossip, not trying to catch somebody saying the wrong thing, not listening only so you can reply, talking until people stop performing, talking until they stop trying to impress you, talking until fear becomes a little quieter, talking until they feel safe enough to say, this is actually who I am. There is another part of the song that I find beautiful. The interest is not only in dramatic secrets or enormous confessions, there is interest in the ordinary details of the person's life, their day, their worries, their problems, whether they sleep. Those small things matter, because intimacy is not only knowing someone's biggest secret. Sometimes intimacy is knowing what exhausted them today, knowing what keeps them awake, knowing what makes them laugh when nobody else is around, knowing what they are worried about but embarrassed to admit. That is where people become real. And I think this is something we are slowly losing. We know more about other people's lives than probably any generation before us. We can see where people travel, what they eat, what they wear, who they are with, what their houses look like. Sometimes people become obsessed with watching the lives of strangers. But seeing someone's life is not the same as knowing a human being. I am much more interested in the opposite. I want to have my own life, enjoy it, learn things, grow, discover beautiful things, listen to music, read something that makes me think differently. Talk to people who make me question something I believed yesterday. There is already too much inside one human life to spend all of it watching everyone else's. And this song is one of those beautiful reminders of what is actually worth paying attention to. A real person, a real conversation, a real connection, without all the performance. Without constantly asking, what will people think? How will I look? What should I say? What am I supposed to be? Fear controls an enormous amount of human behavior. Fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment, fear of being different, fear of being misunderstood, fear that somebody will discover something imperfect about us, so people hide, and then they wonder why nobody really knows them. You cannot spend your whole life protecting yourself from being seen and at the same time expect to feel deeply understood. At some point, you have to allow yourself to be human. That does not mean telling everybody everything. Privacy is important, boundaries are important, you choose who deserves access to you. But with the people you choose to let close, there has to be some reality. Otherwise, everyone is standing next to a character rather than a person. That is probably what I loved most when I listened to الحكي again. It does not feel like somebody demanding perfection from another human being. It feels like the opposite. Talk. Tell me. Let me see the complicated person. You can have problems. You can have secrets. You can be tired. You can be confused. You can be imperfect. Just don't disappear behind the performance. Be real. Be honest. For me, those two things are worth much more than perfection. There is also something else I thought about while listening to this song. About 20 years ago, I used to struggle when I wanted to explain Arabic songs like this to foreign friends. You can translate the words, but sometimes translation gives you the sentence and loses the idea. You would have to sit there explaining, no, this does not only mean that. Listen to why they said it this way. Look at the emotion behind it. Look at what this means culturally. Look at the human idea underneath the literal words. Sometimes explaining one beautiful song became an entire conversation. Today, something has changed. On selected YouTube videos, there is now an Ask Conversational AI feature that allows viewers to ask questions about what they are watching. It can help someone explore the content of a video without leaving it. Google support. And I find that genuinely beautiful. Something I struggled to explain to somebody 20 years ago can now become a question. What is this song actually talking about? What is the idea behind these words? What might this mean? Of course, AI can misunderstand things, and there will never be one machine-generated explanation that decides what art means. Art should never work like that. Part of its beauty is that you bring yourself into it too. But as a bridge between languages, between cultures, between someone hearing beautiful sounds and someone actually understanding the thought hidden inside them, that is useful, especially for songs that are trying to make people notice something about themselves, songs that carry awareness, songs that make you stop for a few minutes and think about the way you live and the way you treat people. So, if you have never listened carefully to الحكي by Fairuz, go listen to it. Do not listen only to the voice. Listen to the human being inside the words, and then decide what the song means to you. Because maybe the person beside you was never asking you to become perfect. Maybe they were only waiting for you to stop performing long enough for them to finally meet you. I deliberately kept the last sentence stronger than be yourself. The whole article earns that conclusion. The problem is not imperfection. It is never allowing another person to meet the real you. That feels much closer to what you were describing here.